This is North America's tallest bird, the whooping crane. In the 1940s, only 21 wild whooping cranes remained in the world, teetering on the brink of extinction. But today, thanks to decades of tireless conservation efforts, there are now over 800 of these magnificent birds. The International Whooping Crane Recovery Team has set an ambitious goal to establish 1,000 whooping cranes in North America by 2035. But can this actually be done? In this video, we'll explore how Canada has played a crucial role in bringing whooping cranes back from the edge of extinction, and how they are continuing to work to secure their future. Join us as we explore the incredible journey of the whooping crane and the dedicated people who are fighting to save them.
Every time you see an animal that's come back from the brink of extinction like that, it's outstanding. There's no words to describe.
Whooping cranes are truly remarkable birds. Standing at an impressive 1.5 meters tall, they are the tallest bird in North America. With a wingspan of over 2 meters, they cut a striking figure against the sky. Their distinctive white plumage, black wingtips, and bold red and black head markings make them unmistakable. But what really sets whooping cranes apart is their unique life cycle. They breed in the remote wetlands of Wood Buffalo National Park, straddling the border of Alberta and the Northwest Territories in Canada. And they winter over 2,500 miles away in the Aransas National Wildlife Refuge on the Texas coast.
From late October until mid-April, the whoopers winter along 35 miles of Texas coast. Here they relax in the marshes, feeding on crabs and acorns, raising their young. They establish their own territory at the refuge and will return to exactly the same area year after year.
So whooping cranes play a vital role in the ecosystems they inhabit. As an apex predator in wetland environments, they help maintain the balance of various species within their habitat. Their diet consists of a wide range of organisms, including crustaceans, small fish, insects, and amphibians, which helps regulate the populations of these species. Additionally, whooping cranes serve as an indicator species, meaning that their presence and health reflect the overall well-being of a wetland ecosystem. A thriving whooping crane population suggests that the ecosystem is functioning properly and can support a diverse array of flora and fauna. Furthermore, the whooping crane's unique position in the food web contributes to nutrient cycling within the wetlands, as they distribute nutrients through their droppings and the natural decomposition of their carcasses. Lastly, as a charismatic and iconic species, whooping cranes help raise awareness about the importance of wetland conservation and the need to protect these fragile ecosystems for the benefit of all species, including humans. So before European settlement, whooping cranes numbered over 10,000, but as agriculture expanded and wetlands were drained, their habitat began to disappear. Hunting and egg collecting also took a heavy toll. By 1938, only 14 breeding adults remained in the wild, and the species was on the verge of being lost forever.
A century ago, whooping cranes were fairly common. You could find them dancing in the northern prairies, preening and singing along the marshes. But as settlers moved in, these birds began to disappear. By 1941, they were nearly driven to extinction.
Each breeding population had a place that they wintered, and when the breeding populations were destroyed, the wintering areas were there, but there were no birds.
So before we talk about the recovery of the whooping crane in Canada and beyond, I just want to let you know that we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it would mean a lot if you want to support this channel, if you could hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the video, and if you want to learn more about environmental and conservation stories every single week. Now, let's get back to the video. So the fate of the whooping crane changed in 1954, when their nesting grounds were discovered in Wood Buffalo National Park. This breakthrough allowed researchers to begin collecting eggs for a captive breeding program, a crucial step in the species recovery.
Cranes are endangered. They're one of only 2 cranes found in North America, and the Calgary Zoo has been part of the recovery program since 1992. So our goal here is to house breeding pairs, have them lay eggs, and hopefully produce babies that we can release in the wild.
The crane we have here in our exhibit right now, his name is Cyclops. He was hatched in captivity about 23.5 years ago. He was released in the year 2000, and unfortunately he suffered a wing injury, so was recaptured and entered into the whooping crane breeding program. And he has been the father of many eggs since then. He is here now at the zoo because he is being repaired with another female at another zoo, so he will be moving on in the next little while to start the next chapter of his breeding life.
From 1966 to 1998, 242 eggs were carefully collected from the park and sent to a captive breeding facility across North America. An additional 215 eggs were sent to Idaho for a groundbreaking cross-fostering experiment with wild sandhill cranes.
One of the animals I take care of is the whooping crane. So here at the Calgary Zoo we have 33 cranes in total, which include a couple of sandhill cranes, mostly whooping cranes. They're actually the tallest bird in North America, and they're a wading bird. You'd find them around ponds, in tall grass. They eat all kinds of things like aquatic bugs and fish, even birds and frogs. So here we feed them a little bit of everything. They'll eat anything.
Maintaining a captive population of whooping cranes serves as a safeguard against extinction in the wild, with the recovery plan aiming to maintain a minimum of 153 whooping cranes in captivity, including 21 productive pairs.
Here in our crane alley, we have pairs and we also have singletons, because we will put 2 birds together based on genetics. What we're told, those are the best 2 birds to be together in terms of producing chicks for the population. But occasionally they don't get along, so we do have a few single birds that just can't live with other birds. They get quite aggressive.
So at captive breeding facilities, dedicated teams work tirelessly to hatch and raise young whooping cranes. Every egg was precious, and every chick was a step towards securing the species' future. Researchers are also studying the reasons for low egg hatch rates and early embryo death in whooping cranes populations to improve artificial incubation practices and increase the efficacy of captive breeding programs.
At this stage, our dedicated keepers are kept extremely busy monitoring all this behaviour. They make detailed records daily about what they see and who they see it from. Now, the keepers may not be physically present when these behaviours take place, so what we've actually done is install CCTV cameras in each habitat. So one of the crane keepers' first job in the morning is to go through 24 hours of footage from the day before and make note of what they see. So this is really important for several reasons. Not only is all this information really invaluable to help us continually improve our crane program, but it will also help us predict when we expect the pitter-patter of tiny feet and the next generation of whooping cranes to come through.
So as the captive populations grew, the focus shifted to reintroducing whooping cranes back into the wild. Using a combination of eggs from Canada and other captive breeding programs, 2 new populations were established, one in Florida and another that migrates between Wisconsin and Florida. Innovative techniques were developed to help these birds succeed, like using ultralight aircraft to teach young cranes proper migration routes.
The reason that we need another flock of whooping cranes is this flock is so vulnerable. All we need is one hurricane in November that could wipe out 2/3 of the flock.
That fact keeps the biologists forever on edge, knowing that a single disaster could wipe out 50 years of hard work.
So whooping cranes have mostly disappeared from their natural habitats due to hunting by humans and also by predators. So the Calgary Zoo has had the honor of having some of the birds that we have had hatched and reared here and in other institutions actually released into the wild and to go on and reproduce as well. I think that's a highlight for most of us keepers, is to know that we're working with an endangered species and actually doing some good, and that we are seeing recovery of these birds in the wild.
Meanwhile, back in Wood Buffalo National Park, researchers continue to monitor the wild population. Color banding and radio tracking projects provided valuable insights into the crane's movements and behavior. Habitat protection and management efforts also ramped up to ensure the cranes had safe places to breed, rest, and feed during their long migrations. Critical habitat for whooping cranes has been designated within Wood Buffalo National Park, and ongoing studies are being conducted to identify additional critical habitat areas in Canada, such as potential breeding grounds outside the park and migration staging areas. So the results of these efforts have been remarkable. From just 21 wild birds in the 1940s, the whooping crane population has soared to over 800 as of 2018. Wood Buffalo National Park, once home to the last remaining wild flock, now boasts nearly 100 nesting pairs. It's an incredible success story, but the work is not over. Whooping cranes are still endangered, and the reintroduced populations are not yet self-sustaining. Ongoing research and conservation efforts are vital to ensure these birds continue to thrive and reach the recovery goal of 1,000 individuals in North America by 2035.
Even after half a century of protection, the whooper is still in danger.
We just know they're not safe. We're trying to get a second and then a third flock established, and then at that point we feel we could take the bird off the endangered species list. And that is the overall goal of what we're trying to do.
The recovery of the whooping crane is a testament to the power of dedication, science, and international cooperation. It shows that even when the odds seem insurmountable, we can make a difference for species on the brink of extinction. You can be part of this continuing story by supporting organizations like the Canadian Wildlife Service and the International Whooping Crane Recovery Team. You can help ensure that the haunting call of the whooping crane continues to echo across our wetlands. Together, we can build a future where these incredible birds thrive. Visit the links below to learn more about all the stories that were talked about today and to get involved. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.